Warm greetings to all. Myself, Mrs. Suthamaheswari, Assistant Professor of Computer Science, SFR College. Here we are going to see about functions in C++. In this lecture, we are going to see about what is function and parts of function and definitions including the parts of functions and a sample program and what are the categories of functions and its advantages. First of all, the functions are building blocks of programs. They make the program more modular and easy to read and manage. So functions are a set of programs, it's a sub-program. All C++ programs must contain the functions main of function. The function execution starts from main function. There are two types of functions, built-in functions and user-defined functions. Built-in functions are part of standard library made available by compiler which can be used in any program by including respective header files like math.h, string.h, likewise. Then user-defined functions are created by the user or programmers, created as per requirement of the program. The functions are divided into three sections: function declaration, function call, and then function definition. Here's the parts of function. The first one is the function declaration, whose syntax is return type, function name, and parameter list. Then second, function call, main function from main function, function name, parameter list. Then function definition, that it shows the what the function do. First, function declaration. So it is made by declaring the return type of the function, name of the function, type of the parameters of the function. That is, it's also called prototype of the function. Here the return type may be any data type supported by the C++, and the name of the function should be start with letter. The function declaration. The function declaration is made by declaring the return type of the function, name of the function, and the data type of the parameters of the function. So it is also known as the prototype of the function. It is declared. It shows the compiler that a function to be called in this form. The name of the return type may be data type of the function, which is supported by C++. Then the function name is, starts with alphabet. Then the function declaration or prototype should be terminated with semicolon. Then the general function declaration form is return type, function name, parameter list, semicolon. You should not miss the semicolon. This type, return type, specifies the type of data the function returns, which is supported by C. The parameter list could be empty or any number of parameters. Then the parameter list should contain both the data type and also the name of the variable also. Example, here a factorial example, int factorial, int n, float j, that is the n parameter is the integer data type, the j parameter is the float data type. Then come on to arguments. The arguments contain the actual value it is to be passed to the function when it is called. It may be a number, which may be a reference. Likewise, the sequence of arguments called the parameter list, which contains it should be same what the parameter list order provided in the declaration part should be the same in the function calling part. When function call is made, arguments replace the parameters of the function. Here some parameter types. Parameters passed by or called by value. Here that is in this parameter is defined, the value is list. Here the some parameter types. First one is the parameter passed by value or called by value. Here the parameter is the actual value of the argument. It copies the arguments, the copies of the arguments are created, then the copies are used or mapped by the parameters, and the changes in the parameter does not affect the arguments. The example, add number, the number may be the number which is initialized in the previous part. Then parameters passed by or called by reference. This is the passing parameters to the function, that is the not the number or value, the parameter is passed to the function. The address of the argument is copied into the parameter. The changes made in the parameter must affect the arguments. Then example, void swap int address of A int address of B. This is the reference parameter example. Then return by reference. This function returns a reference also. A function can also return a reference. Example, int address of max, int x, int address of y. The return statement and return values. A return statement is used to exit from the function where it is. When a function the return statement, return values. A return statement is used to exit from the function where it is. When a program executes the return function, return instruction, the execution statement comes out of the function block. It returns a value to the calling mode. The general form of the return statement is return expression. Example, return 0 or return something, anything we used in the function. Here is a sample program. It is a factorial program. For the first two lines are the header lines. The second one is the function declaration 9, int factorial int n. Here int is the return type, factorial is the factorial function name, and the parameter is the int is a single parameter whose data type is n, int. Then main program, function some parameter. Here is a sample program, which is the factorial program. The first two lines are header lines. Then the third line is the function declaration line. Here int factorial int n. Host int is the data type, return data type. The factorial is the function name, and the parameters n which returns the integer data, which is the integer data type. Then main functions execution. Here two variables are declared. Then after getting input n, the function is calling fact is equal to factorial n1. That means this n1 replaces the actual parameter called in the function declaration. The final part, function definition. In this function definition, a block of code which shows what the code to do in the block of code. Here we elaborately return the factorial calculation with return fact. So the return function is also return data type. Return fact contains some values calculated by the if function and for loop functions, for loop statements. There are some categories of functions. First one is the function with the return values and no argument. For example, there is no return value and no argument. Here the example is void add void. So void means nothing. Then second one is function with arguments passed and no return values. That means it contains argument list but no return value. Example, void add int comma int. Likewise. Then third one is the function with no arguments but returns a value. That means no arguments are there but it returns a value. That's int add void. Then another function, the final function with arguments and returns a value. Here int add int comma int. That means the number of arguments may be vary but it should contain a value. Finally, the advantages are functions supports modular programming. It reduces the code size, and here for the modularization, the code duplication is avoided. It provides reusable facility and it can be called repeatedly at many times. A set of functions can be used to form a library. We can call these libraries as a header function. Finally, a program may lead to repeat the same piece of code in many places and to do certain tasks repeatedly. In this scenario, the program may lead to n number of statements that may be too big. So to reduce this, we can use functions. The program can be divided into different parts, that means for subprograms, and reduce the program size. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you.